Planned Brotherhood is not affiliated or associated with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a registered trademark of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, Incorporated.
You're a smoothie.
Man, you would think that I couldn't read for a second. Or just been drinking.
It must have been, it must have been, it must have been a happy time. It must have been, it must have been, it must have been a happy time. The sun would shine, the candy bars, Kool-Aid flowing like wine, the comic books, the TV shows, the bubble gum, the kitty cat.
Hello, amigos. You are listening to episode 147 of Planned Brotherhood. In this episode, Nick and I sort of take over the microphones while Ed and Nick Stamper are in the room present. And I don't remember anything else. You can check out Ed at edmahiamagic.com and enjoy the show.
The pretend hero. My favorite was Captain America. The little girl, the flowers in the yard, the dog and cat, the welcome mat.
Ed, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, great.
Do you remember your elementary school?
Why are you starting?
I thought a
Why
nice
do
change
you
of pace.
choose who to start with?
Ed,
Change of pace, like I always do it.
you don't even listen back.
You're right.
Once they post, you have no idea what's happening.
I am officially a non-listener of this show at this point.
Ed, elementary school, I'm talking about. Can you remember your kindergarten through 5th grade teachers' names?
No way. No
No?
way. No
PJ,
way,
how
no
about you?
way.
That's
I
a
feel
little
like-
tough because I had 3 in 2nd grade.
Why is that?
I don't know. One of them was a teacher's aide. It was like 2 teachers and a teacher's aide. Mrs. Larson for kindergarten, Olive for 1st, and it was Bauk, Becker, and Harmon for 3rd.
I jumped right into this like it would be interesting, but now I realize the the well I've jumped into.
Mrs. Pratt for 5th, and I can picture my 4th, but I can't think of her name. All ladies throughout elementary school, I'm realizing right now.
Up until 4th and 5th grade, it was all ladies for me, and my once we shifted to guys, I had way much more fun in school. Those guys got me.
Do you remember when you and I were in the same class together?
Nope.
It was like a split class, and it wasn't for a whole year or anything, but it was in middle school. Oh, no, I think it was elementary school. It was like at Fernhill. And for like a week, it was like a 3rd, 4th grade split class. Because we were only... Wait, no, you and I were 2 grades apart.
Yep. You've made up this memory.
No, there was some reason why you and I were in the same classroom for like a week.
Whenever I can't think of something and I'm trying to think of something, I sing the Fernhill Elementary School theme song. You want to do it?
Off to you.
We salute your colors
Of
white and blue and sportsmanship, drama, music, and ball. Standing tall, we will claim victory in your name. Hats off to Fernhill School. FernhillSchool.com, sponsor this week.
No, I remember at least once because I was in your class, and I remember I did this thing in elementary school where I'd always go up to the teacher for like just to say the most asinine stuff. And one time I went up and I think my pen was almost out of ink, and she was like, "Does anyone have a pen PJ could borrow?" And like 5 people rushed up to me holding a pen, and you were included in there. Like we were in the same classroom.
It doesn't seem like I would be that willing to help you out.
At
At that point in our lives, we were not
think,
friends.
I think that it was weirdly some big novelty that brothers were in the same classroom together
And we looked,
for
well,
this short amount of time.
I was going to say we looked exactly alike because we get that a lot now. We looked less alike back in the day, at least based on pictures.
I think
You
we
had the big curly Jufro, and I had like the bowl cut, like the flat out straight oldest kid from Home Improvement hair.
and the deepest voice.
Yes. This has been my voice since I was 11, for those that don't know.
Oh, pre-11. fucking. Does anyone else remember their elementary school teachers? Seems less interesting to me now that it's not someone who I would know. So I can only sympathize for the listeners.
You know what? Honestly, I remember my 4th grade teacher's name. She was Miss Diaz.
Uh-huh.
And
Cameron, bad teacher.
yeah, totally. Not really. Really, no. Nothing of my 4th grade year reminds me of Cameron Diaz. But you know what? I just wanted to mention that 4th grade, that's the year I discovered Nirvana. If I hear any...
Fourth?
Wait,
grade?
what? How
4th
old
grade.
are you, guy?
No, I'm 27. That was 10. That was the year he
That
died.
makes sense. I was 6th grade
I
when
was-
he died.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In 94, I was in 4th grade. I was 10 years old. Oh, closer?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
there we go. I wasn't choking.
I
the
didn't mean to
microphone. I'm
tear
gonna
into your
choke it
chair.
now.
Yeah, go on.
Where was I at? Oh, okay. So 4th grade, discovered Nirvana. And that was the first time I heard rock and roll.
This city was built on rock and roll.
That's
The
true.
city was.
Just for an
Confirmed.
aside.
Or mariachi music.
Remember when we built this city on rock and roll?
Yes, I do.
Strongest foundation.
Ed finally was on mic, and then we ruined it.
I know. The worst joke of the night, too. Go ahead. Nirvana.
So I found Nirvana in 4th grade, and honestly, to this day, like if I hear Nirvana on the radio, I'm automatically gonna change it. I'd rather listen to a Magic Carpet Ride.
Really?
Well, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
That's a bad comparison.
You
I
know,
Of course, I'm
Nirvana.
going to choose that. I like Nirvana too. I mean, it's living in Seattle. I can say that it's way overplayed, like most of the stations.
Totally.
It might qualify as an oldie even these days. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of burned out, but I understand the importance of it. No?
Me too. No, I did, yeah. And even to this day, you hear even younger kids who are like 12 years old loving Nirvana, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just totally over it. Like, being in Yakima, if I heard another AC/DC song, I'm going to shoot somebody. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
PJ,
So,
you not being into music, I remember in middle school you chose to wear a superly oversized Nirvana
Two
Two
of them.
Nirvana
I had
shirts.
2 Nirvana shirts.
not
Which
knowing a
ones?
thing
Which
about
ones?
the band, right?
I liked that Unplug in New York album.
Oh, who doesn't?
I would listen to that a lot. One was the picture of Curdy with the years of his life underneath,
yeah.
in memoriam.
Oh yeah, that was the creepier.
The other
of the
one
two.
was just some weird. It was like I bought it when Hot Topic was a new store, and like I don't know. For somehow I had $20 disposable income, and it
some
was
of my
like,
best teenage shirts came from Hot Topic. Let's not lie, guys.
there
Who
was
doesn't want Ren and Stimpy emblazed across their chest?
there was a store called Windsor Hollow in the Tacoma Mall.
I remember it. Is
That's
that the
where-
one that had the suit of armor laying in the corner?
I don't think so.
Okay, go on.
This was like a place where we would go and buy all of our stupid T-shirts, like
Mhm.
Pez
yeah.
or
Cocoa Puffs. I had a Cocoa
Frankenberry.
Puff shirt,
I mean,
yeah.
just fucking everything, and I loved that store. Just
I
always
look at-
going to look at the stupid fucking T-shirts.
Yeah. I look at a lot of pictures of myself from that age, and I wore a lot of ironic T-shirts before that was even really a thing. But I was real thin at the time for the better half of my life so far. It's catching up on me now, though. Up until my early 20s.
I think you'll die with that being the better half of your
Yeah.
life, meaning you're going to die very soon.
Yeah, 51 I'm giving myself until. I had all these what would even be considered now cool T-shirts, but I chose to wear an extra large.
What was that about us?
Body insecurity.
Was it? So we thought that made it look better?
I worry about how fat I am now. I'm told tomorrow I might have to be shirtless, and I'm panicking. But it's hot enough that I might just say fuck it. But back in the day, like I was super skinny, and that's what I was insecure about. I was too skinny. I got made fun of for being so skinny.
I remember that, but like I talked to Nico about it, and he says the same thing. Like he's still insecure about how skinny he is, and I'm like, fuck you, dude, man. Like I do look back and being like, God, I'm so thin and bony, but I think it's different though. When you're 12 years old and you're super thin and bony, that's embarrassing. But like a 29-year-old skinny guy, like girls like that. You know, especially if you got some tattoos or something and you're
Sure.
just rail thin.
Yeah.
They fucking like that. Look at Jay Baruchel.
Look at my good friend Sam, former guest of the show. That look is totally working for him.
Yeah.
His
that's
dick's
true.
wet like every night. That guy's insane.
I don't like the way you phrase that.
Neither do I, quite honestly.
Fucking middle school all over again. Dude, I remember being in like middle school and like tiny pictures of porn would circulate around.
That
Or,
seems
like-
weird to me. Who's sharing?
You would walk home. I remember finding like a torn up penthouse once when I was walking home, like torn to shreds. And like I'm at home putting it together like a puzzle and just like not even old enough to jerk off yet, but just loving it.
So
Walking around
what's
with
the
a
age
boner,
here?
loving it. I don't know, 9 or 10.
Okay.
But not to sound too old and cliched, but that's over, right? The
Yeah.
thrill of finding your dad's porno mag collection.
Yep.
I feel like we missed
Yeah.
out on a lot of things as kids, being Jehovah's Witnesses, not having holidays and stuff. But at least we got to find our dad's stash of porno mags.
Yeah.
We got that. That's a pretty defining childhood.
I guess now it'll be I cracked the password to get into the internet to find the porn I want to jerk off to.
Yeah.
Or I accidentally stumbled upon my dad's browser history.
Yeah.
And it turns out we're into the same stuff.
You guys ever catch your dad seeing some porno?
No.
What about
Oh.
you, Nick Stamper? Dad's a Jehovah's Witness. You ever find a porno stash?
I never found a porno stash, but what I would do is because we had computers for probably since I was in
Yes, you're
second
very
grade.
techie.
Yeah, you are
Very
very
advanced.
No, but anyways, what I would do, I would just go into Paintbrush or the Paint program, Microsoft Paint, and look
Yeah,
at the
Paintbrush.
last opened files, and I would just look through. It was either my dad or my brother that were downloading stuff. I couldn't find the folder they were in, but I could open them up in the most recent
Really?
pictures, and I would go through
Porno,
their stuff. Yeah,
You'd have to go through Paint to look at these.
yeah.
that's a
Can you
weird
imagine
way
how
to go.
impatient you'd be nowadays?
How convoluted is
No,
that?
because
Oh man,
back
file open. I can't do this anymore.
they didn't at that time. They didn't have the image viewer built in.
Yeah,
like they do
yeah.
now.
Dude, I do have to say though, like I remember a lot of my young kid jerking off. A lot of it was the waiting. Like I would seriously like turn on HBO at 1 a.m. and something's on, Son-in-Law's on or something like that, and I would watch through the end of it, and I'm already starting to jerk just a little. You know, you're just
Wait, you're jerking off at the end of the Son-in-Law
Dude, you're
movie.
playing around. It's all
Carla Gugino's in it. She's
It-
pretty hot.
it's all anticipation.
Yeah.
And then like it's like coming up next, and you're like, oh god,
Red Shoe
What?
Diaries.
Speed it up a little.
Is it
I-
Red Shoe Diaries? Is it literally Red Shoe Diaries?
But I mean, but sometimes it would be something like fast cars, you know, something weird like that, and you'd be like, so you're telling yourself that might have some titties in it. Fast cars might have some titties in it. It sounds straight to cable, and it's late enough, and it's Friday night and shit like that, and then you watch it, and then it's like HBO. The following movie is rated, not rated. Yes. The following movie contains, dude, if you get, I would be happy with the B in brief nudity.
That's enough back in the day.
If you get like the N and SSC for nudity and strong sexual
Yeah,
content,
yeah.
then you know it's a winner. But if it's the B in, I remember literally drinking off to the movie
How did we get here so fast?
about Amadeus. No, it was the movie that was no.
What?
In what movie did what's his face? The guy who's a bad actor but everyone likes him. He was in Commissioner Gordon from Dark Knight. Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. Sure.
When does he play Beethoven? Immortal Beloved, I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
okay.
I remember jerking off to that movie because it came up brief nudity. And I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to sit here and watch Immortal Beloved at age 14 until I see some tits. And I can't even remember the scene, but that's what it was. So it was like a lot of it was the anticipation. So I can understand like loading paint, and then you know what you're getting. It's like fucking, I'm going to get some titties.
Yeah.
But sometimes I would score, going back to HBO, when it would be SSC, and then the credits start to roll at the beginning, and you got that music going, and Shannon Tweed is second listed on the cast list.
Like,
Fucking score. She's not my type at all anymore.
oh, she was back then, guy. Everything.
Everything was
Yeah,
back then.
anything really could have been. One time I was watching, it was in that same scenario, and there was an RP. I only saw it one time. An
Rape
RP
play?
warning. Rape.
What?
That's what it was. There was a scene of rape in the movie, and it was RP. And I said, "Oh, this is a good one. This one's worth sticking around for." Otherwise, it was like go downstairs and try to see what Dad's looking at on the computer from afar. Terry Hatcher nude.
Terry Hatcher nude.
How did that get there? That's so weird.
We red-handed, and I'm sure we've mentioned it, red-handed cop. Like, this is 1996 internet, like the first computer, family house. And,
AOL.
Yeah.
And he's showing us how to like search the web for something.
And then in the toolbar, like saved history, which nobody knew what that meant at the time. But like
He must have hit a T and
he
it
must have
brought
hit T,
down.
and it brought up Terry Hatcher nude, because at the time, like, that was a big thing. Like, I think she had showed her
She
boobs
did-
to Playboy or
She
something.
did Playboy, I think.
I don't even think she was fully nude. I think it was just the Superman cape.
Yeah, but she was in that movie with Alec Baldwin where she showed her boobs.
Oh yeah, Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yep, that was it.
Remember at the old house when Randy's dad came over, and I don't know why, but he started messing around on your computer, and in the bookmarks was all of these porn sites
Who was responsible for this?
that did the sites.
Yeah.
Well, we're like, well, it must be Nick's dad because he got his computer from him.
Yeah, I'm
we
sure
got
that
the,
was-
we got
I'm
the
sure that was
computer.
it.
But it was so awkward. He's like,
I don't remember
looking
that at
at it,
all.
It's just like the most messed up stuff too.
Then it probably was my dad. Really.
RP.com.
Child porn. I had 4 pages out of a Hustler that I got it from a kid at school in 6th grade. Kept that under my mattress for like at least 6 months.
Then why wouldn't you watch American Pie? That was a great jerk off movie.
To go back to Nick Stanford's
Because I
last
couldn't
appearance
do
on the
that
show.
alone in my room. I didn't have a TV in my room.
Someone. I hate terrible segues. They were asking last night at work, first movie you remember seeing with nudity? That was really tough for me.
I think Almeida just called
Yeah? Okay, guys, I'll be right back after I sing my daughter a song.
Put down the mic. I'll explain what's actually happening. He's literally singing a song to his daughter at 2 in the morning.
So,
Are we recording?
are we?
Okay.
We were outside smoking, and I totally had this awesome joke about Nick. And
Wait, which
I
Nick?
should've-
There's 2 Nicks. Here.
Oh, Nick S.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And I totally should have saved it for the show. But I guess maybe this could be dedicated to kind of describing who you have in the studio. As I look around and try and decide where exactly am I.
No, this is our studio.
I see recording equipment. Must be a studio. Forget about the drugs and dead hookers everywhere. But
At least
I think
recognize
we're in
how
a studio.
professional the card table that our equipment is standing on.
Yeah, I like it. I
is,
like
yeah.
it. I like it. But I should have saved it for the show. Let's pretend this is the first time.
Uh-huh. I would
so-
have, except for all this exposition. We could have just played along. I would have pretended this was fresh.
So, oh look, it's Nick S. sitting in their corner. Nick, how's it going?
Good.
Good. We haven't.
Sounds like you can't complain.
I can't. Look at me.
We just met for the first time. Nice to meet you. What's it like being the lead singer of Disturbed? What?
Oh,
Say what?
just.
No way.
I need to see what he looks like. I'm guessing bald.
Bald, white.
Sexy.
We should explain. Nick Stamper was on the show just a few episodes ago, and he had a head of hair at that time. He shows up last night to hang out, and
If you
he's
call it
Bruce
that.
Willis bald right now, like to the skin bald.
Kind
And
of
so-
scared me when he approached me at work last night.
I know, because we knew you were coming, and I was like, I know what Nick Stamper looks like. I know who to look for. And then fucking, John McClane, only from the fourth one, though. He had hair up until the... Anyway, so PJ has been making timely jokes all night about your lack of hair, but also you bought a linen suit today.
None of my jokes have been about his hair. It's all about the outfit he's wearing.
Which I should explain, I don't often go on shopping sprees outside of beer and cigarette shopping sprees. And... But I needed some new clothes, and summer's happening, and my shorts are all in shreds. So Nick and I took a 3-hour excursion to the mall and elsewhere today, the thrift store, and we're at Macy's, and Nick decides in 10 minutes that he's going to try on, and if it fits, and it does, look at him, dashing. It's a white linen suit.
There's a jacket that goes with it?
I keep calling it a
It's
suit.
not really a suit, other than that there's 2 pieces.
Yeah, and I can see the outline of your underwear.
I had to get some white underwear too, so it doesn't show as much.
Yeah,
see
can you
that.
imagine if he's wearing anything other than white? Just
Yeah, I know.
distracting.
It looks super comfortable and lovely.
It's great.
By the way, if anyone's interested, I sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to my daughter upstairs.
Yeah, that was going to be the first question back until Ed did his weird segue.
That's the song she chose, but we also talked about her lovely day of shopping and the carnival that we're apparently going to tomorrow, which you guys are welcome to join us at. 4th of July carnival.
It would have good fair food at least.
And then we roadhoused each other a couple of times. And then
Explain
good
that,
night.
because that's the weirdest thing for a 3-year-old to do to me when I first wake up this morning.
I'm sure everyone's familiar with the movie Roadhouse.
Yes,
And
Ed, I got to assume you've seen Roadhouse.
Dude, I have not seen very many movies, man.
But Roadhouse is one of them that you have.
Roadhouse is not one of them.
Wow. Okay. Well, P-Dave, further explain that.
Pat Swayze
Mhm.
playing a bouncer in a bar.
No, I don't mean the whole plot, just the part that matters.
He's like the world's best bouncer who they bring in to
Yeah.
fucking someone's rubbing their mic.
That's me.
I
Sorry.
think that's it. Anyway, there's a scene where he rips a guy's throat out of his neck out by the water,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one thing I've always remembered about that
Me
movie.
too, because I saw it once when I was a kid, and that's literally the only part that stood out.
Yeah.
I watched it again for the first time as an adult just like 2 weeks ago, and boy, does that hold up as a fun movie to watch.
Really?
We should do it together. It's Point Break good as far as
I don't remember anything about it.
It's fun.
Except for the throat ripping scene.
Yeah.
So what Sophie and I do is anytime one of our necks are exposed, we grab for the throat and pretend to yank out said throat, and we go, Roadhouse!
It's the most fucked up thing ever, and I did it to her all day today. I couldn't get over how funny it was to me, because she has no idea who Patrick Swayze is.
No, she doesn't.
She was barely alive when he died.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, a little bit sad.
It'll be like us and John Wayne. Like, really? He was a big deal to somebody once? He's fucking
That's
dead.
true. She's gonna
In
be
my
up on-
mind, he's always been dead. It's like Jack Lemmon used to be a really popular, famous actor. Like that guy from Grumpy Old Men and the really sad character from Glengarry Glen Ross.
His best character.
That guy was a fucking, like, crazy famous at one point. What about the first movie you saw with nudity? Someone
Back to
at
that,
work, when we were talking about it, said white men can't jump. And that
Rosie
came out,
Perez, sure.
that
I
came
remember
out in 92 when I was 10. I'm thinking that might be it. But it seems like Dad was always willing to watch pretty much anything in front of us.
Does male nudity count?
Well, I guess if you're a faggot.
I guess I am, PJ. Because remember, we got to pull up a date on The Lawnmower Man, which Dad took us to see in the movie theater.
I bet
And,
that's 92.
What's the name of that guy? The star.
Job? Oh, Fahey? Jeff
Yeah.
Fahey?
Jeff Fahey has a lot of ass shots, like up and down Tommy Wiseau type ass shots in that movie.
I don't know. I think let's be talking about female nudity, like breasts.
Well, that seems sexist and unnecessary, but sure. Let's
It
go with that.
it might be My Tutor. Because
It might be Airplane for me.
I remember stumbling upon Dad's, Airplane's a really good one.
Yeah.
Boy, I jerked off to that.
How? With a pause button.
With a pause button. You nailed it, buddy. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Mine was Titanic in the theater.
That's the
Really?
first movie
Oh, so you
saw
jerked
with
off in the
nudity
theater?
in
No,
it?
Yeah.
that I jerked off too.
No,
I thought
well, it was
the way
about
you saw
nudity.
it.
but- oh no, I remember what I was saying. Sorry, Nick Stamper. This is more important. It was like Finding Dad's porn session. My tutor, Dad had recorded off of HBO or something onto Betamax tape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's wrong. I'm trying to blame Dad, but it's wrong. There's a pawn shop by our house, and for sale were all these recorded Betamax movies. And Mom and Dad had a beta in the room,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
one of them was my tutor. And I think I had remembered catching it on HBO or something once. And so I bought the Betamax for it, and I would watch. So like that's one of those times when like I really need to jerk off, and because of where the Betamax is, I have to do it in Mom and Dad's room.
I jerked off in Mom and Dad's room
So much.
a few times. That's where the TV was. Don't look at me that way, Ed. Don't fucking judge me.
I just totally mouthed gross, dude.
Lawnmower Man was 1992. By the way.
All right.
Therapy as your underwear drawer was in there. Disgusting.
Do you remember like changing to your TV channel to like channel 99, and it would have like a blurred out reception of just porn?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick videotaped it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be good enough. Or you would just flick to it really fast, and you get like a split second of it
Mhm.
in clear vision, and then
All it
boom,
took.
blurs.
All it took. Yeah, there was literally a point where I got fuzzy Cinemax or HBO in my bedroom, and I had a VCR and a blank tape. And so I had the most pathetic 2-hour boner tape of like, just like, this girl's blowing a guy in the elevator. First of all, she's not really, because it's HBO or Cinemax. So it's just like her head like thrusting in front of a guy's fully clothed
Front
body.
area,
Yeah. But man, did that do it for me. And it was snowed out. I remember, PJ, you and your buddy David Goodbread, like I was at work one day. So I had to have been at least 16 when this was all going on. And PJ and his best friend at the time, like snuck into my room and found, I think I falsely labeled the VHS something else. So they thought they were going to watch Seinfeld, and then this fuzzy porn comes on. And I could not have been more embarrassed when you guys confronted me about it.
Yeah.
We weren't even friends back then. Like, I was like, why are you in my room, first of all? And then I caved your face in.
It was a great thing to find, though. One thing about us growing up is that I was never physically intimidated by you or bullied by you.
No, I was a shrimpy guy.
You never threatened to throw a punch.
No. I threatened to tell on you, though.
I think it's funny to hear, like, I have this friend Peter who would talk about when he would fight with his brother Ben, who also works at Olive Garden. They both do. And he'd just be like, fuck you, Benjamin! I remember that about the Kios. They would fucking fight like that, and you and I remember one time you and I fighting, and I was on the stairs, and, like, you just would not stop needling me, and I'm bawling my eyes out.
You're just
And
proud
I'm
of-
like,
you're just fueling my fire, dude.
and I'm like, you win, okay? You win.
Yes.
Just stop it.
I'm glad you still remember that moment, because I'm still winning.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful wife and daughter. Congratulations.
Well,
I'm
it was a
still
little
winning
bit
based on
after
that stairs
It was a
conversation.
little after Sophie was born when it happened. You win.
Ed, siblings?
Yeah, man.
How's
One.
it-
Yeah.
How far apart are you guys
Let's
in
see.
age?
We're 3 years. What about you guys?
Older or younger?
He's younger.
He's younger.
Yeah.
How much younger?
Nikki and I
He's
are
a
a year and a half. To
Year and a
answer your
half.
question.
Okay, we're about 3 years apart.
Who do you think's older, me or PJ?
Well, I know you're older, Nick.
That works with random chicks in the bar sometimes. Not with you. I guess you know her backstory.
Fantastic conversation starter, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. All the chicks.
I'm
man.
sick of
Instant
that.
panty droppers.
So, what's your relationship with, with your sibling?
Cool, man. It's
Yeah.
been better over the last few years, I guess. We're just
Does he live here
closer, I
locally?
guess. Huh?
He lives here.
He lives here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, totally, living the dream, living at home, no bills.
Sure.
So, I ask him, how do you do that? Whatever. I don't get it.
But it was clever, man. That's what I say.
Yeah. I know you're looking for something interesting. I have nothing for you there.
No.
But
No drama.
no drama.
Nothing you
No
can
problems.
milk.
Oh, man.
Pretend to be drama for a minute.
Oh, man.
Pretend to be drama for a minute.
Oh, man.
Pretend to be drama for a minute. 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 Pretend to be drama for a min religious background?
Ooh, really?
Were you ever in a
Oh
cult?
man, I was so forced to go to like Catholic school, man. Being, Filipinos are all about, Roman Catholicism.
Sure.
That's their thing. So doing the whole confessional thing and going to frankincense
Is that a
in
band?
the room. No, it's the incense. It's
You're
like
thinking of myrrh.
it just reeked heavily. It was really creepy. I remember taking one of my friends in 7th grade to church with us, and he was just totally creeped out by it. But
That's a weird thing, though, when you're in 7th grade and like, hey, come to my church with me.
I remember bringing David Goodbread to the Kingdom Hall.
Oh, boy. I can't believe he's your Facebook friend based on that.
Yeah, I know.
Even now.
It's probably a pretty bad time for him.
no, PJ, actually, you gave me the greatest advice for when a JW walks up to your door. Say,
I'm
I'm
disfellowship.
disfellowship.
Yeah, that's all you gotta
I'm
say.
disfellowship.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so nice. It could be a Kirby salesman. I'm like, no, dude, I'm
Dude.
good. We're just a couple college students raising kids. I'm good, man.
I don't feel like we're building this up enough, but for the uninitiated, we were Jehovah's Witnesses. When one comes to your door on Saturday morning and you're really annoyed, 2 words, I'm disfellowshipped, they'll leave.
They will
Right
turn
then
around
and
and
there.
walk away.
Yeah, without saying another word because they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
So
Unless
that's
it's
an
an
inside
elder.
tip, right? Unless
Yeah.
it's an elder.
Yeah, and
elder
they'll
would be allowed.
follow up on it and try to
But-
talk you into coming back.
Yeah, like I've had J-Dubs knock on the door, and
Isn't it so weird?
I'm the
being
same
on the
way
other
as
side
Ed.
of it?
Like I can't just let it go, and I'm like, well, I used to be one, and they're like, well, what happened? And
You tell them that you used
yeah,
to be one?
I can.
I've never done that.
I can't shut the door on it, dude. We were in Portland last week,
Uh-huh.
and those people who like stop you on the street and they're trying to get you to like sponsor a kid in school. The people I'm talking about. There's a lot of them in Seattle too.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
tell
like,
me
hey-
about it every walk
Hey,
to work.
stop and let me talk. And I
You know what I do in
almost
those situations? Oh, I'm looking at my phone and I'm late for work. Sorry.
So you just walk away because I got approached by this kid who just came up to me and was like, "Hey man, what's your name?" And he put his hand out to shake my hand. I'm like, "Well, I got to shake his hand." And I answered his name, and he's like, "Let me ask you a question." And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm trying to catch a train. I'm trying to get on the Max. I'm in Portland." And he's
Way
like,
to throw around the Portland lingo.
he honestly he was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. I'll stand right here and talk to you for a second." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm really not interested. Let me ask you a question, man. Why aren't you interested?" Because I felt the same way, and then I was like, just one day I just stopped and decided to listen, and it was really inspiring, and it got me going, and blah blah. And I'm sitting there and I listened to him talk for like 7 minutes straight, and I could not walk away from him. And I don't know what that is. It's the same thing when anybody comes to the door and they're just trying to sell me the most random shit, like fucking insurance or what, or cable, like cable salesmen that come around to my door.
Vacuums, does that still happen?
I'm
Vacuum
sure.
still happened, yeah.
They do.
Fucking
Dude.
cut
There's not a
code.
marker for that anymore.
I can't just close the door on them.
That is so weird because
I tell them I'm not interested.
You
and
hate
they
talking
don't
to
give
people
up.
as much as I do.
I know, but I also hate confrontation, and I'm just like, and I'm like, I really can't do this, man. I'm not interested. And a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, okay," and they'll leave. But you get some aggressos that won't stop, and I can't be the one to in the like I can't just close the door on them. I have to convince them to leave me alone and turn around and walk away. It's the
You
same
know what
thing with
helps
Jehovah's
though?
Witnesses.
Saying things like, "Oh man, I'm good, but thanks. Have a nice day." And I think it works. It helps when you're calling AT&T and stuff like that.
Like you give the big goodbye.
You give the goodbye, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And they forget it. They totally forget their little pitch at the end. They do at the end of the.
I
phone
seriously
call.
felt like an idiot with this kid in Portland because we really were waiting for the Max train to come,
Mhm.
and we're standing like 10 feet away from Alvina, who's standing right there on the street waiting for it to come. And I'm still talking to the guy. And finally, when I was like, I honestly told him, I was like, my wife's making fun of me. I have to go. Because she kept looking over and like smirking and shaking her head at me. And I was like, my wife is making fun of me. I'm done. Like, I have to go. I kept telling him, I was like, there's no way I'm not going to sign up for anything, man. I'm on vacation. Really, man? Where are you from? Are you going to school? Yeah, I'm going to school. What are you studying, man? oh, well, you know, I'm studying English and maybe I'll become and I'm just like answering him. And he's like, that's cool, man. I'm in political science. And I never stopped and listened to any of these guys talk. And then the first time I did, I was like, I want to be a part of this.
Even you doing this guy is kind of selling me. This guy's at
it
least
was-
he's got a different approach, if nothing else.
But then, so when I blew him off, we still had to wait a good like 10 minutes before the train showed up. And I'm watching, and he was doing the same thing with every person, walking up with his hand extended to shake theirs, and every single one would just turn the other way. And turn their head the other way and then just keep on walking him and blatantly ignore him. Like, man, I should have fucking done that. Why can't I do that?
How often do you bum somebody a cigarette?
Constantly.
Yeah.
At my new job? Well, I mean, are you
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
strangers?
Well, you don't live in... I don't know how bad the bum situation is in
pretty bad.
Yakima. Is it?
Not like, it's
Can
nothing
you confirm
like
that,
Seattle.
Ed?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's right.
It's nothing like Seattle.
No, Seattle is constant. Like,
but they're so
uh,
nice in Seattle.
no.
I think.
I mean, sometimes. I almost got my head blown off by a rock.
They will
because I
put on a
refused to get
show
hit
for
one
you though
time.
on the street though, man. These guys here don't do.
A lot of it, for me, a guy asked
The
me
more
for,
effort they put into it, the less I care. I'm like, dude, shut up.
This
No.
guy asked me for a cigarette last time I was in Seattle, and I said, no, man, it's my last one. And he goes, yeah, and your dog ate your homework, too. And that's what I get mad. I'm like, what do I owe you? Why do I owe you a cigarette,
Yeah.
man?
I hate it when they cop an attitude after you say no. Like, it's one thing to ask. They see me smoking. Maybe I got a shot, but if I say no, then just accept it. Don't fucking make a scene of it.
So what about this scenario? Because this has happened to me before. Someone will ask me for one, and I'll say, like, I just bummed this one. I'm sorry. Or, sorry, man, this is my last one. And they're like, oh, no, dude, that's cool. Don't worry about it. I've turned around and given them to people like that before. People who are
because
really
they were
nice.
polite about
Yeah, and
your...
they're like, oh, no problem. Thanks, man. No problem. And then I've turned around and been like, all right, man, here you go. Here's a cigarette.
I will tell you, I was really poor the other day, and it's very iffy. Like, I have direct deposit for my work check, and so I don't know. Sometimes it comes in 3 days early. Sometimes it comes in a day later than it should. And so I'm just like relying on my bank account because I'm on my last pack of cigarettes. And I had been asked 3 times on my walk home for a cigarette, and I was like, no, I've got 2 to myself, and I don't know if I can ever buy another pack again. And then I'm calling every 10 minutes to my bank account, and then the money's there, and I was happy to throw out. Like, I was throwing them out to the street. I'm like, I'm fucking flush again, dude.
Rolling around in them on your bed.
I fucked a cigarette that very day. Yeah, it's exciting to have money. That's what I was getting at.
Have you ever walked up to someone, a complete stranger, and asked to bum one?
Nope, never in my life. I can say that I bummed a lot from friends in
Yeah.
a desperate moment, or even friends of friends, because, you know, I had some connection, but I've asked for a lighter because I feel like that's non-intrusive.
Complete stranger walking up to in the street. I did once.
And how'd that go?
She gave it to me. She was not happy about it.
Right? That's such a dick move. I hate it.
Yeah.
I will say, attractive or no, I almost always give a lady a cigarette if
Really?
they ask. Yeah, unless they're like raving hobo, then no go.
What I hate about Yakima is it's always the same bums everywhere. And, you know, there's like a guy at work who bums cigarettes constantly and doesn't buy his own. And it's just like, I have a problem with loaning cigarettes to somebody who I know will never have one to bum back to me. You know, like
That's why you don't ask, can I borrow a cigarette? You're not borrowing.
or do you have an extra cigarette? No, it wasn't a 21 pack. There's fucking 20 of them.
Hasn't Marv tried to pull that before? A 21 pack?
Marv?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Actually, they do have a king pack, 25.
25. That's
25,
outrageous.
yeah.
Let's do it.
But yeah, you know, and there's other guys who I'll bum a cigarette to, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I will definitely be able to get one back from them later. But if fucking I know that I am the sole supporter of your cigarette habit, it's not fair that I have to pay $8 a day, and you do it free and clear.
Yeah. How trashy are we? Like, I feel I listen to a lot of podcasts, And I imagine there are secret smoker podcasters,
Yeah.
but we talk about it blatantly, and that's not cool.
What's funny
Like,
is
I realize how filthy the habit.
I listen to like podcasts and just whatever people talking, and they're like, how do people still smoke in 2011? Like, it's so impossible to them. But honestly, I don't know anybody who doesn't smoke. I don't really hang out with anybody who doesn't smoke.
Oh, I hang out with a lot of people that don't smoke, and they're annoyed by like Nick Stamper. You could probably vouch for this. Nick Stamper is in town this weekend, and we mentioned the shopping spree that we went on. Every time I'm outside, this is how bad I am recently.
Yeah.
Every time I'm outside, I'm like, oh, we're outside the car, or we're heading back to the car, I'm going to smoke. And he's already started the car, and I'm just like, 2 more puffs.
Yeah.
That's my line now. 2 more puffs.
You do that, and then like you guys will drive to the mall, and then when you get out of the mall, before you walk in, you smoke one.
I'm a mess.
It's wasteful.
I'm a mess.
It's a lot of money. That's what it is.
I know. I don't need it.
I try to wait until I'm really craving a cigarette.
Yeah.
So like I can go days without smoking cigarettes,
That's
and I often
amazing.
do that. Especially if it's the weekend and I've got it off, and I'm like with Alvina and Sophie. Like I really don't think about it, but I do remember the times when I would just be like, "I'm outside. I'm going to smoke a cigarette," or "I haven't smoked in 2 hours, so I'm going to smoke a cigarette."
Can we get a smoking history around the room, starting with you, Nick Stamper? Cigarettes ever? Oh
Don't-
yeah,
I've-
don't
night.
deny it.
tried.
Last night.
Yeah, no, I've tried them. I've had them, but not as a habit at all. I don't care for it much.
Yeah. I shouldn't. What about you, Ed?
17 years old.
17?
First pack ever. Bought in Sela,
Wait, are
man.
you 17 now?
I'm still 17. 27. No, 10 years ago, man.
I didn't. Technically, I bought you beer. That's not cool.
That's a $5,000 fine.
Smoking? 17.
17. Yeah, Camel filters all the way. Occasionally Camel lights. Or Camel whites. That's what I meant to say.
Ed's lucky though. His lady smoked. Well, probably not anymore, but she was a smoker too.
So she gets it,
Yeah.
even if.
You don't have to hear the fucking clucking from that hen
Yeah.
I'm married to.
Does your wife? Are you smoking?
Yeah, apparently this weekend it's cool.
Okay.
And the past few that we've hung out together, at least.
Yeah, every now
Even-
and then, but then
yeah.
I hear an earful. But at my new
So
job,
is it just? Do you only smoke in front of her when I'm here? Is that the excuse?
yeah,
Because I'm constantly
well,
smoking when I'm here.
and that's the
'Cause
thing
your
too.
wife stresses me the fuck out.
Is I go outside to smoke with you, but that's what I'm saying is that when I'm at home, I don't smoke cigarettes at all. I'm never like before bed or anything,
Yeah.
and that's why I'll go days. Like it's not like, we'll wake up on Saturday, go out to breakfast, do a bunch of stuff, and then we'll come home and we'll be winding down, and I don't go like, oh, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette before bed. I just don't. But then I'm at work, and when I used to work with Ed at Olive Garden, it was, you get like 1 cigarette break before 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
1 cigarette break after 8 o'clock, and you have to find a buddy to go out with, and you have to get permission to do it. And Ed is the worst smoking buddy of
Am I really?
all
Man,
time.
really? So you'd rather smoke with J-Dub?
J-Dub's pretty bad too, because J-Dub will only smoke half a cigarette and
Yeah.
then rush back inside.
And she'll only
But
talk
Ed
about
is
work.
bad because we will sit there like once 8 o'clock comes around and you're just dying. We're like, I'm gonna go on a cigarette break, and like you're outside and you're smoking, and you automatically think back to the tables you have, and it's like, okay, this person asked me for ranch 10 minutes ago. This person needs another beer. This person doesn't have their salads yet.
And I will do this, but I will be reeking of cigarette
and
when I
I'm
come
going
back.
to smoke cigarettes, and then I've got to wash my hands so it doesn't
Yeah.
smell too badly like it. And then you got to make up your excuse. But Ed won't. But you fucking do it because
Yeah.
it's a cigarette break. But Ed won't do anything. Like Ed's like, dude, I can't go just yet. She wants a lemon. I'm like, fucking tell someone to bring her a lemon. It's cool, bro. I'm just gonna bring her this lemon real quick. And he brings her the lemon, and she's like, some ranch or something. But you just tell someone, watch my tables. And then he's like, hey, do you like magic? I got a rubber band. There have been so many times that I'm like, Ed, let's go out and smoke. And I hated everybody at Olive Garden. A lot of times I wouldn't smoke because there was nobody who I was willing to go outside with. But a lot of times Ed was the only guy there who I'd go outside with. And I would be sitting there behind the bar just watching him, and he's like, he won't pawn any of his work off, and he's like getting them another salad or another thing, and then he'll pull out rubber bands and start doing magic, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What is he doing? And I'd like go hover and wait, but at my job now, smoke anytime you want, however many times you want, by yourself, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You want to go smoke, as long as your tables are taken care of, you're fine.
I will say
So I've been smoking a lot more cigarettes since I started at 2nd Street.
I can imagine, yeah. I want to talk about your new job really briefly. But first, Ed, PJ mentioned the magic tricks that you do. First of all, that's got to help as far as tips go. I imagine that's part of it,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you put on a literal show, and you're good at it. Like
Thank
I've
you.
seen a lot of your magic tricks up close. Which leads to my next quest.
His next quest. It's all right, buddy.
What magic trick could you do that translates on mic right now? Any? Can you do something? Can you throw your voice? No, that's a ventriloquist. No.
You know what Ed's favorite trick to do is?
What's that?
Making a 5-year-old's pants disappear. Am I right?
Oh, funny because it's true. Translate? No, man, I ain't got nothing, man.
Well, you had a number. You had a little.
So they put
number
me on the
trick.
spot. I have nothing prepared for you, man. I'm going home.
I am too. Did you hear me try to stumble through that last sentence? What happened to me?
Well, you said you want to talk about my new job. Hello.
Oh yeah, my bad, PJ. How's it going?
Well,
What I will say is, how long have you worked there now?
like a month and a half.
That's weird because I feel like last night when I came into town was the first time that I'd seen you on shift at that place.
Yeah, it was.
Like just sitting there drinking as a patron. And thanks for all the free drinks. I hope that doesn't get you fired.
Idiot.
No, but I will say you worked at, we can say Olive Garden because you don't work there anymore, right?
Yep.
For what, 5 years?
I worked
Close
there.
to?
I worked there for 6 years.
Wow. And
Just short of 6 years. Missed out on my 2-week anniversary pay for my 6th
Damn.
year.
yeah.
It was worth it.
But I sat at the bar a lot when you were bartender there, and you were having fun with the people that you worked with and the customers even, but like you were unhappy, obviously. I see you at 2nd Street for the first time, and is it cool that I say that?
Yeah.
You seem so much more comfortable there. Like you're just bullshitting and hanging out and wearing shorts as opposed to
That's
like
awesome.
black dickies that you are required or whatever. No name tag, I noticed also.
The weird thing about it was that I was so uncomfortable my first few days there.
Even though you had a good inside,
Yeah.
yeah.
But still, like, training, and they were training me with literally, like, the one person who I didn't know who worked there. I'm talking to all the other servers. I'm like, dude, why aren't I training with you? Like, this is awkward for me. But it was fine. It's kind of funny because the uniforms are kind of similar to the Olive Garden one, just in the sense it's black shirt.
Right.
And there's this bartender, Curtis, and I've been drinking there for 2 years, like, regularly, before I ever got a job there. And I'd always come in after work in my black shirt. Well, here I am training, and this guy, Curtis, who's one of my regular bartenders, had no idea that I'd gotten a job there. So I'm walking around, and I'm kind of following this girl who's training me. I'm walking around, going through the kitchen and stuff. And after, like, probably 20 minutes, he's like, hey, man, you want a beer? And I was like, really? Like, this place is awesome to work at. But he thought that I was in there as a customer.
Yeah, I've never gotten a beer during a
Yeah,
job
he
interview or
thought
walkthrough.
that I was just in there after Olive Garden, like walking around. He's like, dude, I didn't even think about it. Like it just like looked like normal. But I spent so much time there before I ever worked there that I wasn't comfortable immediately, but it happened pretty quick.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Love my bosses. I love not working at the Olive Garden.
You're supposed to play golf with your boss today? Or one of your bosses? Is
Yeah.
he technically a boss? That didn't happen, but we played golf, and God, do I love it. I'm really bad at it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I like the idea of strolling out there with my brother and my friend Nick Stamper. And let's pretend Ed was there too, just so he can be part of this
Thanks.
conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't have played much worse. It's almost as if I had no sleep the night before.
Yeah, last night was rough. No kidding.
We gotta talk about last night a little.
Okay.
Jump in, Ed. Anytime you feel the need.
Thank you.
Even though you weren't there. But that's when my big bro came into town on the Greyhound. Shortly thereafter, Nick Stamper on a whim had driven in from Spokane.
Based on your Facebook update.
Yeah. Good thing I posted it.
Good thing Nick Stamper can't interject because he's trying to open an oatmeal cream pie.
You can
With
set
his
the mic
teeth.
down. You're not using it. But yeah, so you guys came in. You had to wait quite a while for me to get off of work, and
That's fine. I was at least drinking by that point.
I wanted to be done so I could sit at the bar and drink with you guys. But in the end, we went to 7-Eleven right in the nick of time and got some beer.
About 7-Eleven, we passed like 2 or 3
Well, there's only
mini
the
marts,
one.
including a 7-Eleven.
Well, we
to get
passed
to the one.
that one 7-Eleven we passed stopped selling at 1:40. They won't sell anything
okay.
past 1:40. Fruitvale will do it all the way till 2 a.m.
I knew
okay.
exactly what he was doing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was
guess we
just
could have
wondering. I'm
explained
like,
that to
maybe
you.
this place has a better.
No, it's like you
assortment.
have to go to that
clearly
one.
not based on what we bought. Oh, Tecate.
Yeah, and I think we had picked out a 12-pack at first, and Nick Stamper's like, maybe we should get an 18. And I'm like, really? I guess we'll have some extra tomorrow. But we came home, man, and we started going for it. We started drinking around 5 in the morning. The pancakes, French toast, and scrambled eggs came out.
Because PJ decided, I'm going to cook for you guys.
And the
Are you
strawberry
guys hungry?
glaze.
Yes, I'm hungry. I've been awake all night and just drinking and smoking.
Well, what happened was Nick Stamper wanted to go to Mel's, and I was like, I can't because my daughter's going to wake up at any time. And, like, I feel like I should be home for that, even if I'm plastered and can't walk.
Even if you're awake and scrambling batter at
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning.
Well, see, that's better, and it was light outside already, so. And we went for it.
We did.
last night.
Last night was, and what? Can we get a timestamp right now?
That's about 3 a.m.
Man, 2
Wow.
nights in a row. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, well, I also worked for 9.5 hours today, so I'm feeling it a little.
This episode's winding down, is what we're saying.
I think so.
Hey, can we get some plugs for
I
you?
think this episode wound down from
Yo, what?
Jump Street.
I know, right? We have 2 guests, and neither of them talked at fucking all. Ed, at least get
Yes,
some
sir.
plugs out of you.
Wait,
All right,
let
man.
Nick insult you one more time.
Okay, go ahead.
Where can people find that hilarious video that we watched before we started on the internet?
Okay.
To see some of your magic, which, let's expand more on that. Do we have to end?
How'd you get
I
into
feel like
magic?
We do not have to end.
What are we at, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
What's up,
Minus
Nick?
the 20 minutes I was singing to Sophie upstairs.
How did you get into magic?
Man,
Good call. Let's let Nick Stamper take over hosting abilities. You're doing a great job. Go on. I'm literally putting my mic down for a minute.
Don't do it, dude. Spice of life.
Ask again.
How did you get into magic?
got into magic. I was 12 years old, man. We grew up in Southern California, so we were only a short drive away from Vegas. We would drive there. I think it took us 4 hours. So as a kid, I was there like every single year. So we loved Vegas as children. We would say it's circus, totally family themed, circus themed, obviously. So we loved it. And so they would have these chain of magic shops and a lot of these casinos, and their number one goal was just to sell. And so they would demonstrate tricks and then offer to sell it to you. They'll take you in the back room, teach it to you, touch you a little bit. But really, I was just to learn the magic. But yeah, that was it, man. I saw my first trick and learned it. It was awesome. Total geek for life now. So.
When you say you saw your first trick, do you mean a hooker? 'Cause
Yeah.
In Las Vegas, you saw your first hooker.
Yeah, by trick I meant hooker.
I think a trick is
A male one.
A male hooker.
Is
Was
trick
I
a
saying trick?
hooker?
I meant to say male hooker the whole
No,
time.
hookers turn tricks.
They turn tricks, so a trick could be like a John too. then why do I call my wife Trick?
Because
I like saying that.
sometimes they say trick bitch.
Did you say Trick? And I go, Roadhouse. Sorry to make it all about me again.
So how about that Anthony Weiner stuff?
I already tried that once. It went nowhere.
Ed, where can we find you?
All right. Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Facebook.com/Ed Mejia Magic. That's MEJIA.
That's not how you spell magic.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
That's
Start
not how you spell
again.
Ed.
Thank you.
either.
Yeah, that's right. That's not how you spell magic. Mr. Fucking Obvious.
So it was facebook.com/ that's not how you spell
Or
it.
check out edmejiamagic.com. Check it out. Show dates. I don't know. That's all I
July
got.
23rd.
July 23rd. July 23rd.
Why don't we get Brian
Here in
Dennis
town.
show to that? Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, he's so super fanny. I'd like to see that.
And Paolo, at least with a picket sign
I
outside.
know, right?
What happened to that guy?
Fucking rest
Seriously.
in peace.
Nick Stamper plugs?
No,
That's
I
unfortunate.
don't.
You think he's wearing hair
I don't-
plugs?
I don't-
It's to the skin.
Yeah. No, I don't post anything of any importance.
But you are the
U.S.
stand-in.
Postal Service every day.
Oh, hey, yeah. Buy
Keep-
stamps.
Keep snail
Send your
mailing,
grandma
guys.
a letter.
And he's the stand-in for Bruce Willis in Die Hard 5.
Yippee-ki-yay.
We were watching Handy Manny today with your daughter while you were at work, PJ. And there was a point where they were singing a song, the Tools were, with Handy Manny, of course. And I don't know how the song went, but they kept saying
Hola,
yippee-ki-yay.
vámonos.
They kept saying
Everybody,
yippee-ki-yay,
let's go.
yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay. And me and Nick Stamper wanted to keep singing along with it, motherfucker, motherfucker. But Sophie was right in the room. And Alvina, I would have done it if Alvina wasn't also in the room.
She approves of the Roadhouse. But
I like how
Which is the worst. Like, she's pretending to rip out. I know she doesn't know what she's saying, but she's ripping out my throat and referencing Roadhouse. Your daughter's awesome.
I liked how Alvina was watching Law and Order SVU, and then
oh God, yeah. 'cause
Sophie
that's all
really
right.
wanted to watch Manny and
Handy Manny. Get it right, or pay the
Handy
price.
Manny, which is a total ripoff of Bob the Builder.
I've never seen that, but I gotta imagine.
But she goes, Nick Stamford doesn't like Handy Manny. I'm like,
That's what
what
Alvina
do you-
said.
Yeah, because she wanted to watch
She threw you under
SVU.
the
I'm
bus.
like, whoa.
She
hey.
threw you under the bus.
She did
hard.
several times. Nick Stamford doesn't like that.
And I'll take Handy Manny over Bob the Builder any day. Except
Really?
for Wilmer Valderrama's really calling in the voice of Manny. Like,
And
phoning
It's
it
so
in. is
lame.
what I
And it's like they repeat themselves because they're saying it in English then Spanish.
That's what I was just
and
gonna
that
mention.
alone
That's so
is
weird.
annoying.
Let's go to
It's
the
like
living
choose
room.
one or
La
the other.
sala.
Yeah. And Dora the Explorer does that too, right? Basically.
Yeah,
Teaching
kind of.
English and Spanish,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think they're a little more
That seems
subtle.
so weird
about
to
it.
me. It makes sense in Yakima, but that's not just. I mean, it's not. It's not.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. In all honesty, we're being overrun. Okay, you want to get ahead in this life, you need to know Spicanese. Cut that out when I said that. It's
Or end on it.
Spanish. My daughter is very good at Spanish. She knows a lot of Spanish, and she is not shy to remind me that I don't know any Spanish.
She makes fun of you for that in Spanish, so you're oblivious.
And apparently they go to La Panaderia, which is like a Mexican bakery, I think.
You just made me feel like an
And
idiot.
they wear like little funny hats and like they sell bread. So the guys are like, pan, like come eat the bread, but in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
So Sophie will put underwear on her head and walk around and go, come eat the pan, come eat the pan. Which means like eat the bread. And it's hilarious. She just started doing it one day. Go make the pan.
Your daughter is adorable. Nick Stamper, you met her briefly, right?
Yeah,
Prior to this,
in
but
Seattle.
now you've fully soaked her in. What do you think?
Good kid. It's funny.
Good egg.
Good egg.
Ed, your thoughts on
Dude, she
today's
is the
beautiful,
cutest little
hilarious,
girl.
awesome
You
daughter?
want to plug your kids
Yeah.
before we?
Oh, my kids are
out?
cute too. You got a really, really cute daughter, man. Very
Kids
cute.
plural.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get a
got
little
two.
bit on that. Plug your kids.
Yeah, the youngest one is 6 months old, man. Little girl.
Yeah.
You know,
6 months. Huh?
Yeah.
Pretty
And
rad name. I don't know if he wants to say it on the podcast, but it's
Oh,
a good girl's
Oh,
name.
Piper.
Piper.
Piper,
That's a
yeah.
good name.
And then
Wow.
Xander's our oldest. He's almost 3 years old.
Piper and Xander.
Yeah,
So
With an
Xander's
X?
3.
almost. With 3 in
With a
October.
Z, he spells it. I
What?
thought
With a
I thought
Z.
it should be with an X too, but
A lot of
he says
people
it's with a
do,
Z.
man. We actually call him Z a lot of the time. Hey, Z.
That
Z.
works. Better than X. That's for
Hey,
sure.
X. Yeah.
What up, X? And Xander was the name of the lead character in Triple X.
That's what I've been told.
Plays
That's what I've been
it?
told.
No, that was
I should hope not. That'd be a missed opportunity.
Triple X.
Triple X. I am so stupid.
Fight to the finish. Fight, 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 fight. It must have been. It must have been. It must have been a happy time. It must have been. It must have been. It must have been a happy time.